Hello and welcome back, everyone, to another new game on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. From Focus Home Interactive, we have something produced by Asobo Studio, a a relatively well hyped, more or less indie game, technically AA game that came out. Some more recently than most of our other titles. I think this is actually 8 years old by today's standards. A Plague's Tale: Innocence.
Huh.
Now this is a bit weird for me to be showing this off, but I need to show this off specifically so I can show off that I actually have a few things, as well as I had to do a couple of edits in the options in order for this to actually go relatively smoothly. I have played this game all the way through once before, before this recording. So,
Part 1: The Darun Legacy.
Actually, no, that's right. This was that's right. This was pseudo blind. I recorded this more than a full year ago, and the reason why it took so long is because I was having massive issues with Camtasia at the time, because my PC was able to run this game, but not very nicely. So there's going to be a lot of stuttering and missing frames throughout the playthrough, and I'm sorry about that, but I did not want to have to go all the way through it again.
Is that your only ambition for me?
1348. That actually sounds around the time that the bubonic plague just decimated Europe and wiped out approximately 1/4 of the human population in the world at the time.
Which tree?
The apple tree, Father. I want to take the Knight's Challenge once more.
There is a lot of audio narration in this game, and it's good that you mentioned that we have history directly tied to this game. And yes, we do. There's a very important reason to connect the bubonic plague to our timeline. Also, we get to pet the puppy dog. Haha.
Look at Leon. The Guian beast is in a hurry to fight it out.
Leon.
Your beast thinks with its stomach.
Already numerous similarities between this game and Resident Evil 4, and that makes me smile.
Oh, come on. I mean, we are a third-person game, yes, but we don't. This game does not have zombies. I have to stop saying that now.
Your mother's ribbon is still here.
I mean, look at how pretty this is, Mr. Cloud.
Yes,
this game can't
Father,
possibly have zombies in it, right?
If only she could come with us.
Well, maybe they're rat-infested zombies.
You know, in a family. Hey, I'm trying to tell her something.
Such authority, Knight Darun.
Go! Bring something back for once.
So do you think that Amici's father actually serves the French crown at this point?
I have to manage these lands. Your mother has to take care of your brother, and you...
And I hardly ever see you.
I mean, I can't really answer that question, Mr. Gerda, because normally when a story begins, you take the information that they give you at face value.
True.
If they're going to plant a reversal, then fine, but you gotta give me something to work with first.
Well, here's the thing: knighthood in France in the 14th century. I don't know anything damn about it, but I believe due to the medieval stereotypes that I've been have been exposed to somewhat recently, that knighthood was also granted to wealthy nobles, and because of that,
sacred apple tree,
I believe that Amicia's father here is actually a relatively wealthy constable or noble, as opposed to a knight serving the crown.
I accept your challenge.
I can see some stones near the trunk over there. Go and get them and tell me when you're ready.
Alright, so here we're going to be introduced to our primary method of combat throughout the game.
Alright, come back. Stand behind this trunk. You'll shoot from here.
It shall be done.
So, here we go.
We have a sniper bullet for a slingshot.
1,
Ah.
3.
The slingshot, historically,
5.
was the weapon that King David used in order to slay Goliath,
This is how Amicia
the
becomes a true knight.
monster man of the Philistines.
Well, well.
Yeah, we got all the apples from the tree.
But your sling is frightfully noisy.
It was a present from you.
Oh, yes. I'd quite forgotten. Goodness, what's up with him?
Follow the
He must
Leon
have scared the
Puppedo.
rabbit. Come on, quickly.
You go ahead. I'll catch up with you.
So, we are technically a third-person action game, much like Resident Evil 4, although we look slightly better than Resident Evil 4 does, to be perfectly honest.
Well, the original one, yeah.
Yeah, the original one. And,
A hunting dog.
I have to, at this point, give a viewer discretion warning, because there is some very, very dark shit that's about to happen to Leon, and, there are persons that do not like witnessing that, so come back in about 10 minutes. Yeah, come back in about 10 minutes.
Oh gosh, a wild boar. What a good dog.
Show's over. Nothing to see here, folks. Can you remind our viewers who did not immediately turn off the video, Mr. Gerda, what is the Internet Software Ratings Board rating for this game?
That might work.
It's either a teen or M, one of the two. I'm not sure.
Grass will keep you hidden if you stay low.
Oh, it's a touch of uncertainty then.
It's drinking. Time to make my move.
It's a boar.
It is a boar.
We're gonna smack it in the head.
Saw me.
Way to speak up. You have to hit the head.
More rocks.
Careful.
Sometimes there just
I'm doing my
aren't
best.
enough rocks.
I want that feast.
Yeah.
You can do it, my darling.
We have a fixed inventory of rocks, you
We
see.
do. For the moment.
Like bullets in a gun, it would be foolhardy.
Yay! We
Use them
successfully
all.
slayed the wild boar.
Accurate. But the feast isn't on your plate quite yet.
No,
Except we did not successfully slay the wild boar, Mr. Cloud.
I mean, honestly, this narrative is a little on the slow side.
Yes. There's a reason
It's
for
like
that. We're establishing Amicia's
Tonight we
character.
shall dine like
She's
kings.
she's a relatively
I
young
have
and
no
spirited,
doubt we will.
relatively young and spirited young lady.
Give up, Leon.
And all of a sudden we have a massive tonal shift. You notice it was effectively midday outside, and now it's getting close to dusk.
Well, that's what happens as the day advances in 1348 in France. Is
Stop barking. He
after
must
some
have
time,
landed.
day must give way to night.
These bridges were almost new. Someone's not going to be happy.
Yeah, so there are going to be segments of it. I do like how this tutorial is showing us the different conditions that we're going through the map. Now we have to anticipate that there are going to be moments where you have to
Come here.
either escape something or pursue something,
It's-
but you're going to be slowed down by
It's the
marshes.
boar. But how? Leon couldn't have done that.
For those of us that
Come
missed,
here.
for those of us that missed it, yeah, the boar was ravaged, just missing hunks of flesh, and yeah, graphic viewer warning. Leon has been hurted.
Who did this?
Do they really have to do this to the dog?
Yes,
Come on.
yes, they do.
The dog is supposed to be the second to last character that dies in a story, not the first.
Well, he was the second to first character that died in this story, technically. Welcome everyone to A Plague's Tale: Innocence. I hope you enjoyed our very bright and colorful starting, because we're not going to see bright colors again for quite some time. I mean, we have a little bit more tutorial to go through, but
I shall organize a hunt.
yeah.
Go and find your mother. Tell her I must speak with her. She's probably...
Looking after Hugo. Yes, of course.
This is a horror game. It is also more or less a walking simulator, and
Alicia.
it is a stealth horror game. But
He was a
to be
good
perfectly honest, the horror elements of this are not really what sell this game for me. To be perfectly honest, I actually like a lot of the narrative that we end up going through, which is weird for me because I hate
We know about
France.
the English troops
Like
arriving.
France is just a terrible place.
What the hell did France ever do to you?
Well, you know, like 2/3 of my family comes from France, and the French people specifically are comedically elitist and art snobs, and I hate them for it.
Sebastiani, keep us from evil. May you forever grant us health and keep plague from our door.
But yeah,
now I'm starting to see more of that frame rate dropping. Yeah,
we're gonna have frame drops and
take care of Leon, please.
Stuttering videos and such like that throughout the entire playthrough. It doesn't get so bad until near the end, to be perfectly honest. But it does interrupt some very important moments that I'm frustrated with. But I couldn't clean it up without doing an entirely new playthrough with my new hardware. So I decided to not do that.
I mean, so far the game looks pretty good. It looks to me that when there's a it's got to be these bright lights because you're in a bright place and then you went into a dark place. A very different photography between the two.
Spent the night there. The little one had another one of his attacks.
And we're also getting character development for Hugo, despite the fact that he's not on screen. Hugo is sick, and we're not entirely sure what he's sick with, but he's sick with something. Also, shields.
Is there like an invalid plot?
No, not invalid, as a point of fact. Hugo is very much not invalid, but, well, we'll get into that in the next part, because it becomes more relevant there.
And now vampires?
We must have seen something rotten to be punished so.
But yes, as we are in 14th century France, there is a lot of, supernatural superstition floating around. Vampires, magic, alchemy, all that kind of stuff.
Cinnamon.
Also, food.
I'd almost forgotten what it smells like. They were right to hide it.
This tutorial is leading me to a proportion of the pace.
I enjoy this tutorial, but this tutorial area is a bit massive. But that's mostly because a lot of the world that we're going to be exploring actually has a lot of nooks and crannies to explore and get interesting trinkets in. I will not be collecting all of the trinkets in the game, sadly, mostly because I didn't realize that there were trinkets until about halfway through the game. Because again, I decided to play this mostly blind. I had played the tutorial, I had played a good portion of the tutorial before I picked this up for myself, and then decided to, try and do it for Rocket Rabbit.
So how many hours would you conjecture it would take the average player to finish this game?
Finish?
Yeah. Like, I mean, just to get to the credit sequence. In other words,
just to get the credits, the game is not actually all that long. Our playthrough is relatively straightforward at 34 parts, and that means 9 to 10. Yeah, like 9 to 10 hours.
Oh, in that case.
Oh, that's not a very long game at all.
By the way,
no, it's not.
Something for you on your bed.
Mostly due to the fact that it's a walking simulator stealth horror game. You can't sit in these environments for all that long and still have them be effective.
It's the placemat that Mother made for me when I was a little girl. I've been looking for it everywhere. Thank you, Louise.
You're welcome, sweetness. Look after it now.
Everything looks bright and beautiful before it becomes utterly repulsive.
I would go so far as to say the game never gets repulsive. Definitely scary and tense, but never repulsive.
Gerda, the opening shot of the game, the start menu had just a pool of rats on the ground. Like they set up that expectation on purpose.
I know, but something attacked Leon in the forest.
My dear, I really wish I had the time to listen to your adventures, but
I think I'm beginning to more readily recognize the developer's speed trees involvement in this game. The facial details are pretty good for a video game, which is perfect, of course, because there has been a grand emphasis on characters in this game so far.
I realize you hardly know him, but he will be all right. Trust me, Amicia.
Yes, Mother.
Bye, Mom.
We're going to be shutting a lot of doors in this game, and we're going to be locking
not on purpose,
them too.
To be perfectly honest. Amicia shuts doors automatically, so.
It's locked.
Plus, you're railroaded pretty heavily throughout most of the game.
Oh, I'm starting to get a little claustrophobic here.
Just a little.
Controlling our progress by the number of locked or unlocked doors,
4
eh?
years? 5?
Mommy, are you there?
Where is he? Hugo?
Come and see.
Aw, he built up a castle fort.
Everyone in the French army has heard of Hugo Stiglitz.
It's me. Your sister?
Hugo de Rune.
Amicia?
Hello.
We haven't seen each other much. Mummy will be back soon.
Move! Come on!
So, are you ready for the horror elements to actually start happening, Mr. Cloud? Also,
No,
spiky
Lord
boots.
He killed 2 of our men. Where is he?
Knights Templar?
I won't ask
French
again.
Crusaders, but otherwise, yeah.
Where is your son?
In good hands.
Search the house.
Yeah, Amicia watches her father die in order to protect Hugo.
Well, that sucks.
Oh yeah, like we don't actually get all that much time to go into it, but Amicia is actively scarred by a majority of the shit that happens in this movie, in this video game. And I did mistake this for a movie because we end up watching a lot of the shit that ends up scarring her. So.
Where have they hidden him?
Stay down.
French curse words. Yes.
Hey, you! What the hell are you doing?
Let's go.
The kid, huh? Leave him alone! Shut your mouth!
So can we like fail this portion of the game?
We
now?
can actually. It doesn't look like we can actually get caught, but we can get caught if we mistime these approaches.
I'll teach you.
No. I'm begging you. Hugo's not here.
And you, stay.
Come on.
All right.
Come
In
with
the next
me,
episode,
my
we'll
prize child.
continue our escape from the de Rune Manor. Be safe, everybody.
The plague is coming. It's definitely coming.